advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good morning, Philippines. You are watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. Coming to you live on Channel 8 via Destiny Cable and Channel 1 via GSAT. I am your host, Rowena Suarez, and you can just call me Ro for short. Our segment, Investment Academy, talks about the different ways to increase investment capacity, financial literacy, and awareness. Investment Academy will show Filipinos not only how to make money, but also how to create wealth. A sunny Wednesday to you, our dear viewers. Let's start the show with our Just Ask Crow portion. We have a texter from Parañaque, number ending 7450. When is the seminar for Forex trading? Direct, I believe that I have a slide for that. The show for the, okay, we'll show that in a little, there you go. Forex and other cool stuff. So we have a seminar on July 22 to 23 at RCBC Plaza and August 12 to 13 in Waterfront, Cebu. Yep, that's for Forex. And you can also register at www.moneysummit.com. Okay, and another texter from Makati, his name is Paul. Hi, Paul. And the number is 2198. I am a foreigner living in the Philippines, married to a Filipina. Can I get life insurance? Paul, definitely you can get a life insurance, but we have to make sure that you have an ACR. Since you are a foreigner, yes, we can get you a life insurance, but you have to have an ACR, an Alien Certificate of Registration, and at least living in the Philippines for 2 years, and you have to have a Philippine address. So definitely you can, especially you need that to protect your family and yourself. Another one is Jinky from Malabon, number ending 3178. I have 20,000 pesos to spare. Where should I invest? Stock, market, mutual fund, and Forex. Okay, 20,000. You know, mutual fund, for me, if you are a first-time investor, mutual fund is the safest. Why? Because someone is managing it for you. Now, when it comes to stock market, you can get a stockbroker, but for an amount of 20,000, I would suggest you just go to CitySec Online, but you have to manage it yourself. So you have to log on to CitySec Online every morning from 9 to 12 to see where your stocks are going. And Forex, I'm sure then you watched last week, Forex is also doable, but it's, I think, like what our guest said, it's risky. So you really have to check your risk appetite when you invest. And in fact, if you want to do 10,000 in mutual funds, 10,000 in stocks, pwede rin. Or 10,000 in, you can divide it actually. It just make sure, just put in mind that the 20,000, you cannot get it back right away. You have to wait. And sometimes, let's say in Forex, sabi nga ni Mark saw last week, you can easily just lose all that. So I'm not scaring you, but I'm just telling you the reality. So you just really have to check your risk appetite. For questions, you may get in touch with us through 0917-862-7576. That's 0917-86-AskRow. And justaskrow@gmail.com. And you can follow me at Twitter, justaskrow. You can also view the show on YouTube, Investment Academy by Rowena Suarez. Our topic for today is outdoor advertising. We see it around all over the metropolis. How does this business work and how is this run? And how can it help us in our investment study? Today, we are joined by a billboard expert. He is a member of the Advertising Group of the Philippines, owner of Sign Language Outdoor Advertising, and director of PHILCOURSE, Mr. LLOYD Tronco. Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning, Rowena.
How are you?
Good morning to our viewers.
Good.
So, outdoor advertising, you know, we really see this all around. It's in the billboard. But how does it really go? How is the business? And if you can also give us a brief history of how you started this business and your career?
Yes. Well, out-of-home media, as it is known
Oh,
these
it's now
days.
called out-of-home media.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Before it was just billboards, and then it progressed to outdoor advertising, and then now it's called out-of-home media.
Okay.
So all about this, when you come to think of media as a whole, out-of-home media or outdoor advertising is the original medium. Because long before there was TV, radio, and the movable type, which was, the printing press, there were already cave drawings, and that is already what you know as having evolved into posters and billboards. So it's the original medium. Now, at the turn of the century, because of the developments of radio, TV, and print, it seemed like media was all centered on these three. And billboards were still there. But all the more today, because people are more mobile, and they are hardly hit by all these traditional media, radio, TV, print. So we see that billboards are very important nowadays. So billboards, especially in the 60s, they consisted of neons and these panels, GI sheet panels, which were hand painted.
Is this
Yes.
the one that they stick in the outside the buses? Yan ba yan? Yung mga
Yes.
yung handcrafted na sinasabi
Yeah.
mo? Like in the 60s, di ba? Meron
Yes.
nakadikit sa mga truck?
Sa mga truck,
Oo,
yeah.
sa
Not so
buses.
much on the buses yet,
Ano,
because
okay.
in the 60s the buses were still very clean. There were hardly anything. But most especially if in the 60s you would recall all those canvases for the movies, diba? So these people would the painters would actually paint pictures of Nora Honor, Vilma Santos, and all
Okay,
that. So that's where it all started.
Okay.
Yes. And then, so before it was so painstaking in terms of coming up with a billboard, because you'd have to hand paint it. And that's where I also grew up in. I grew up in an environment where in our backyard was a billboard company. No, we had a billboard company in Bacolod City. And we were doing a lot of billboards for San Miguel and for other companies, Coca-Cola, Cathay Pacific. But these were all hand-painted.
So your family's business was billboard, doing the painting and all
Yes,
that?
yes.
Okay.
So how it works is the billboard company leases space. It's really a real estate transaction when you come to think of it. You lease the space, you put up a structure. At that time, the structures were made out of wood and not steel as we see it today. So, and then these hand-painted GI sheets, galvanized iron sheets, would be shipped all over Visayas, Mindanao, and mounted on those wood billboards.
I see.
So before, the billboards were rented, or the billboard space was rented at only 3,000 pesos.
Per square? Or
no,
for
no.
the whole?
For the whole month. The whole billboard,
Okay.
12 feet high by 36 feet wide, would be rented at around 3,000 pesos per month.
Per month. And
Yeah.
that was back in the
Back in around
70s.
late 70s,
late
yeah.
70s. Okay.
Around late 70s. So 3,000 pesos then was already
Big.
big.
Yeah.
The thing there was that all of these billboards were contracted directly by the company to the billboard supplier, meaning to say San Miguel Corporation would contract directly with the billboard supplier. Okay, and in the middle of that were the ad agencies. The ad agencies did not get in the middle and get a commission out of those placements. And the reason, I suppose, was because ad agencies usually earn 15% commission over every media spot that's placed. There was no sense in earning 15% out of 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that was very small.
Yeah.
The evolution of billboards took place around the late 90s, wherein all of a sudden there was this development that you could print images on tarpaulins. And those tarpaulins cost a lot. But the thing that we saw there was that the tarpaulins could not be held by regular wooden structures. Okay, so all of a sudden the billboard suppliers started building steel structures to hold all these tarpaulins. Okay,
So the one who's making the structure is also the billboard supplier.
yes, yes.
So how it comes is, let's say a company hires a billboard company. A company, let's say San Miguel,
Yes.
will hire a billboard company, let's say
Yes.
you, and then they where does the advertising company come in?
The advertising agency is in the middle.
In the middle.
But in the
But they can go straight, right?
yes, they can go
Oh.
straight, and that was what was happening before.
Yeah.
Companies like Pepsi and
Yeah.
San Miguel went straight to the billboard supplier. They paid 3,000 a month for the billboard
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
and then but the thing was that it already evolved because from hand-painted billboards, it went into tarpaulins already.
Yeah.
The tarpaulins could not be held by wooden structures, so they
Yeah.
had to build steel structures.
Yeah.
So because of that, the amount of money and infrastructure invested into holding these billboards, all of a sudden, the billboard rates went from 3,000 to 100,000. Okay, so all of a sudden, this jump to 100,000, the ad agencies got the idea that, hey, now all of us now we're seeing that there is already sense in being in the middle, because you can earn 15% of 100,000 and it's worth the effort. Okay.
So they look for companies, and then they're like the middleman.
Yes, ad
Yeah.
agencies were.
Yeah.
And that's how I moved from Bacolod to here, to
You saw
to
the
Manila.
opportunity.
No, well, not just me seeing the opportunity, but the company that I worked for before, which was McCann Erickson Philippines,
Okay.
saw the potential of having a unit that would handle outdoor billboard placements.
Okay.
So
Why is billboard an integral part of media mix?
it's integral because recent studies have already shown that the top awareness builder of for us a brand is still TV. That's top. Number 2 is now billboards. It's now outdoor advertising. So radio and print have been pushed aside.
That's parang traditional, di ba?
Yes. So, and also, there are other factors. Number 1, we are more mobile these days. People do not go home at 7 o'clock to watch, like in the 70s. You don't go home by 7 just to watch Newswatch. If you recall before, in order to launch a brand, all you would have to do was just buy a 30-second spot on Superstar and John and Marsha, and that's it. You've launched your brand. Now it's different because people are hardly home, and they're stuck in traffic. They're always outside. A recent research that we've done under the Philippine Center for Out-of-Home Media Research and Science showed that only 14% of people stay at home 100% of the day. So all the 86% are out. They're mobile, and we cannot even say that they will be home by 10 o'clock, because with the call centers and all the BPOs, people have different schedules already. So that's where advertisers would like to catch their market.
So the out-of-home advertising, yeah? So one is billboard. What are the other out-of-home advertising products?
The other media is you would consider the bus ads. That's out-of-home media. You would consider the light boxes that are in the malls. You even have out-of-home media as like the shelters on EDSA, the bus sheds. If you notice, there are also small billboards. That's also
parang Pearl and Dean.
yes, light boxes. Those are light boxes.
Right.
So, and we know them as Pearl and Dean also. Yeah, they're really a brand already. And so even a whole car can be wrapped. The taxis, if you notice, there are stickers on the taxis. So anything that you see with an advertising or a marketing message, outside of the home. That basically is out of home media, and because it's growing, it's already the second top awareness builder for brands. So agencies are investing so much into that.
Okay, aside from the out of home advertising, of course they have the one in the computer. You
Yes.
call it out of home also, like the one in the computer,
Yes.
all these advertising.
Yes.
Is it called out of home as well?
No, that one is digital media.
That's
Yes,
different naman.
that's different.
So we have the traditional, we have the out of home, and the digital.
The digital. So
Alright.
actually, when you come to think of it, in my previous work in McCann Erickson as a media strategist, the traditional was always radio, TV, print. And then so came this unit for out-of-home media, and then of course there's this trust for digital digital media. The interesting thing is that later on we'll be seeing already a fusion between digital media and out-of-home, and you're beginning to see that already because there are LEDs on EDSA, LED screens, moving billboards, and also LCD screens in the malls.
Is
So-
that the LCD is the one that you see on EDSA, and it's like a big screen, a TV screen?
Yeah, LED on.
LED
That
yun.
is LED. The LCDs are usually the ones inside the malls. Yeah,
I see.
yes.
And how do you think, how important is overall these three traditional advertising in business?
It's important because first of all, what they're saying is, you know, selling a product without advertising is like sending smoke signals at night. You know what you're doing, but other people don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing. And so brand managers nowadays, they really have to select which medium to use. So of course, number one would still be TV, and then because research has already shown that awareness comes secondly from out of home. So this is the main driver, and you know there's this issue going on right now about we have too many billboards on EDSA. Well, that might be partly true, but MMDA is also doing their job in trying to regulate stuff. But it's necessary because in order to move a product, in order to make it known, the size of the advertising campaign will depend on the
Let's say
billboard.
for a person who wants to start a business, it might be the price of having advertising might be very inhibiting, di ba?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
paano yun? How can it help start out? How can it help like small businesses? How can they do advertising?
Well, interestingly, out-of-home media is a relatively cheaper medium compared to TV and to radio and print. It's a cheaper medium because you get to hit more people, and you don't have to be intimidated by all these big billboards. You can start out with a small billboard that doesn't cost too much.
Pero you have to have a lot. Kasi if it's
Yes.
only in one place, the only same people will see the billboard, di ba? So you
Yes.
have to be in several places.
Yes.
Yun lang nga. Baka our viewers might think, paano ko magpag-advertise? Ang mahal naman mag-advertise.
Yeah.
Hindi ka kaya ng like,
Yes.
my capital, right?
That could be true, but then again, it's a matter also of trying to find out which specific place would be most important to you. You can just have one, but if it's in an area that's very strategic to where your market is.
Do you have like let's say a certain capital of business? Like how much should like the business be worth to be able to go into advertising?
Well, siguro the best way to put it would be like this: a small billboard. A small billboard, not on a very major thoroughfare like EDSA. You could get a billboard rented for 50,000.
50,000.
Yes.
I see.
But
it
that's
can
not
go-
on the main street. That's not on EDSA.
okay.
And that's a little bit smaller lang.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. We have to pause for a break. It's
Okay,
so fast, no?
yes.
With our first portion is done. Anyway, for questions, please get in touch with us at 0917-862-7577 That's 0917-862-7576. We'll pause for a break and we'll see you in a little bit. Good morning once again. You are watching the Business Portal and our segment is Investment Academy. I am your host, Rowena Suarez. Okay, for our Money Sense portion, making sense with money sense. As the saying goes, the journey to making millions begins with a single cent. Okay, from last week, the top 10 performing peso mutual funds. We already mentioned the first three. The fourth is the PhilEquity Peso Bond Fund. The NAV per share is 2.5483. 1 year return is 6.8%. The minimum initial investment for that is 5,000. For Sun Life Prosperity Fund, the NAV per share is 1.2726. 1 year return is 6.37%. Minimum initial investment 10,000. And for the sixth Sun Life Prosperity Bond Fund, NAV per share is 2.1895 and 1 year return is 5.94%. The minimum initial investment is 10,000. For the Grepa Life Bond Fund Corporation, NAV per share is 1.1315, 1 year return is 4.8% and minimum investment is 5,000. Stay tuned next week for the number 8, 9, and 10. So for our finance news, we have business news, our Finance Watch. This is as of yesterday. Actually, there's just a typographical error there. It's July 5. The stock market opened at 4.292.31. It went on a high of 4.29, 5.26, a low of 4,281.48 and closed at 4,289.29. And for our dollar bond fund, the slide please. Previous slide please. For our dollar bond fund, the peso dollar opens at 43.550. It went on a high of 43.510. It went on a low of 43.620 and closed at 43.600. For our business news, okay, that's banking, business, and finance news from the business world. Automakers to wait longer for new perks. And the price pressure easing and rating trend for Asia Pacific firms stable likely to persist. It's quite long, but we might not have any time for our guest. She has more to say, so just read that first and stay tuned, and we will read it again later. Okay, so for our going back to our question earlier, where is a strategic point in like putting all those billboards?
It really depends on the brand. There is no one strategic point. Well, for most people, most brands, they want to be on EDSA Guadalupe because it has a lot of traffic. But then again, the thing is given that there's already limited money that you can spend in advertising, you cannot always just be in EDSA Guadalupe, which is the favorite knee-jerk reaction. Just have to find out where your market really is, because you can make your advertising more efficient by knowing where they're at. So, like, there was a time before that the section between Taft and Rojas Boulevard was really there was hardly any billboards there. But because SM Mall of Asia opened up around 2005, so now that stretch between Taft and Rojas is equally as important now.
So there's also real estate involved here,
yes,
diba?
Yes.
Kasi syempre, where you're going to put those structure is owned by someone.
Yes.
So do the companies rent from the owners of those lands
Yes,
or
they do.
houses? Oo.
Yes, they do.
How
So,
does that go?
so the billboard supplier rents from the landowner or the building owner, and then what he does is he invests money in putting up the structure, and then once it's already up there, he goes to the advertising agency, or goes directly to the advertiser, the big companies, and offers the billboard space for rent on a monthly basis. Now, with regards to how can people make money out of
Yes,
this?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely we can already see the dynamics wherein the advertising company went to the property owner, put up the structure, and then is selling the space. Now, for most Filipinos or those who are looking for a sideline or looking for something to really get into business-wise, they could start off by selling space. What they do is they try to contact a billboard company and ask if that billboard company welcomes freelancers. And if they do, then just ask for the portfolio, the available sites, and you're on already. You can go out and go to different companies or advertising agencies and offer that billboard space. Okay, so let's just say that the billboard space was 50,000. You try to sell it at 60,000. Okay. Now, if the advertiser says, yes, I want to go into a 1-year contract for that billboard space, and he pays 60,000.
So that's like rent for the landowner.
Yes. Well, the rent for the landowner, that is already taken care of by the billboard
Billboard.
supplier.
Okay.
We're talking now about the billboard supplier selling his space, his
Yeah.
50,000 peso
Yeah.
a month space.
Yeah.
Okay. Unlike in real estate, wherein the agent earns the first month commission, and then that's it. In billboards, it's different. Okay. The agent earns the markup every single month that he collects.
It's like having an apartment rented, parang
Yes,
ganon, no?
yes.
So they earn from that. That's one way of earning for
Yeah.
for people who are not in the
Yes.
in the advertising
Yes.
business. What about like selling spots?
Selling spots, yes,
Yes.
that is also something good, because like yesterday I was just having this conversation with someone, and he just mentioned that there are a lot of people in the BPO sector, in call centers, who want to explore a different career. Some of them mentioned that they want to be in advertising. And my suggestion for them was this, that if you want to be in advertising, you can start off first in media sales. You can sell billboards, or you can sell spots for TV. You can be a freelancer in selling radio spots, okay, or try to look for advertisers for newspapers, maybe not the big newspapers, but there is just so much media to sell nowadays. So for those who are looking for an alternative career in advertising, they can do
Usually that goes per commission basis, right?
Yes, per
so I
commission.
would presume the billboard's the highest commission.
that.
What's the commission range for each?
In the billboards, it's different. It's not so much a commission thing; it's a markup. It's
a
more
markup. Okay.
the billboard company just says that, okay, this is the
Let's say
the rate.
I'm the one who wants to sell it. Kunyari, I'm the
Yes.
agent.
Yes,
Oh.
I'm
The billboard company.
yes.
Oo.
So I tell you, Ro, it's 50,000 a month for the space. So initially you offer it at let's say 70,000,
Let's
because
say
you
I
know.
offer it to him at 70,000. So
Yeah.
I make the markup. So it's
Yes.
not commission pala.
Yeah, but most likely you offer it at 70 because you know that there will be negotiations. Then it will go down. So if you're not the type that you really want to make something big immediately, but you want to grow it little by
Yeah.
little, if the client says that I'll just get it for 55,000, and if you feel that you're happy with the 5,000, remember that is 5,000 per month.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the deal is closed, and
okay.
yeah. But you have to do your legwork. You still have to do your servicing to the client, because you have to bill the client. You have to collect, and then by the time you give back the collection to the billboard company.
Is it the same principle for the other forms like the TV and the newspaper?
Maybe it's different for other forms, but
Yeah.
in a nutshell, what we're saying here is that there is a large opportunity for Filipinos to make money through media sales, because it's one of those portable businesses. It's like selling insurance also. It's a portable business. It depends on what your schedule is on the day and all that. Okay.
It's
So-
it's not a 9 to 5, what you're saying. It's not a 9 to 5. It's mobile. You can do it at
Yes.
your own pace.
Yes, you can do it at your own pace. But then again, because since the clients are usually in their offices at around 9 to 5 also, or even beyond that, so you also have to work within those hours.
Yeah, but do they have to be certified to be able to sell spots or to sell the advertising spots?
Right now, there is no
There's
certification
or
for
no
that.
training that they have to
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah, there is no training, but we are thinking of also giving orientations, especially in the area of billboard sales. They have to know first what are the mechanics between advertiser, the ad agencies, and also billboard suppliers.
Oh, kasi I think there'll be ethics, no, that
Yes,
they have to
yes,
to conform with,
yes.
or else then it's going
Yeah.
to. So do you advise for let's say they have a regular job, just a part-time
Oh,
job?
there are some who do that. There are some who do that. They still have their own job, but because they're wise enough to make connections with billboard companies, and also find out who are marketing managers. So all they're doing is just securing the billboard space, and then communicating to the advertisers.
You
So,
mentioned something off the air kanina. You were mentioning something about putting like a poster in outside their house, and the people the homeowners get paid somehow. Like,
yes,
like
in kind.
in kind.
Yes, we're talking about the smaller out-of-home media. We're talking about like these banners of the pizza companies. So they're plastered, or they're placed on these houses. So these are usually paid in kind by the restaurants. Delivery, pizza delivery.
Well, there you go, viewers. Baka you have a big space in your house. You can call
Yeah.
the
Pizza companies, I guess,
pizza
or
company, or maybe go through the advertiser first. But ganun ba yun? And then you have to link them.
maybe you would just have to contact the nearest outlet. Yeah.
Okay. And then you can get a free pizza or a free burger.
Yes, yes.
And where do you see the out of home advertising business 5, 10, 15 years from now? Maybe that 15
yeah.
is too far. 5,
Yes.
10 years.
In 5 years' time, I would see that by that time, there would be more order in EDSA. We're seeing that MMDA is also trying to put some order, and
Yeah, because do you think that yun na nga, di ba, when there's a typhoon, everything
Yes.
flies. So
yes,
that's the order you were talking about.
no, it's more of like which billboards are safe, which ones are unsafe. With regards to tarpaulins being brought down, that's not a problem, because billboard suppliers really do put down their tarpaulins during strong winds. But the interesting part, going back to what happens in 5 years, would be the fusion between out-of-home media and digital media. That would be the thing that would be exciting if that is typified in the movie of Tom Cruise, Minority Report, that he was walking through the corridor in the mall, and then all of these panels were talking to him, John Anderton, take a vacation, and they could sense who is the consumer. So that's where it's headed for. In fact, next Friday, not this one, but July 15, there is a forum on digital out-of-home media in AIM Conference Center in Makati.
That's July 15.
That's a Friday, yes, from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So those who would also want to get into the business of digital signage, digital out-of-home media, this is the conference that you need to attend. And we're seeing a lot of interested parties because that's where it's going already. The advent of digital screens, LCD panels, has made it already easier for brands to communicate directly to the consumer at the point of purchase, at like in the malls and also in the supermarkets. So
it's more, you're saying it's more interactive.
yes, it's out of home media and outdoor advertising will be more interactive, more than ever. So interestingly, in Entrepreneur magazine for the June 2011 issue, there's a feature there on digital signage. So this is the next big medium. So that's it. So
Okay, so that's very interesting, and I guess they're setting ground for that already, no?
yes, yes.
You think that in 2 or 3 years from now, something's going to be like that now?
Yeah, it's gonna be big because, well, I'm the convener for that forum. But last year also, I was the conference chairman in Singapore for Digital Signage World Asia. And interestingly, a lot of these people from the region are coming together to look at digital out-of-home media. And
The globalization
yes,
na talaga.
yes. And the thing also is that with regards to digital out-of-home media, this is the thing that will really dazzle the consumers. So ad agencies and suppliers would want to know what's next. How do you make the digital screen interact with your cell phone, with your iPad, or with your...
And you're going to be teaching this on July 15th?
On July 15, we'll be discussing it because it's a forum, because it's a growing medium. Yes.
Yeah, so you think that out of home advertising and the digital, it's very new, so there's still a lot of room for growth.
Yes.
And there will be a lot of opportunities for
Yes,
the Filipinos.
a lot of opportunities, especially for some places like department stores that have their own digital screens. They can also sell ad space there. Yeah. One interesting part would be this, that in America, they consider the 3 big networks as ABC, CBS, and NBC. But the 4th network that delivers as much impressions as these big 3 is what they call the Walmart network. These are all the digital screens inside Walmarts because people go to Walmart. Yeah.
So that's really something that we can look into, no?
Yes.
And then not just here, you can also do it globally.
Yes.
Because since it's going to be digital, everyone's going to be seeing it.
Yes.
So do you have, before we end our show,
Okay.
do you have any inspirational message for our viewers? And you brought a book here. Maybe you can share with us, with our viewers, the book that inspired you to be here in this business.
Yeah. Well, actually, about me being in the business, I grew up in a family that had an outdoor advertising business. But I'd like to share this book with you. Just show this to you. It's entitled Media Man. Okay. Media Man is about the life of Ted Turner. He is the head of CNN. What people don't know about Ted Turner is that before, he used to be into billboard sales. That's where he started. He started in billboard sales. He had a family business. His dad had owned a billboard company. And so that's how he got oriented with media and with advertising. And then later on, he moved forward until finally we have what is now known as CNN.
So we will see the future Ted Turner of the Philippines. Any inspirational message for our viewers?
Well, just keep your eyes open for all the opportunities. Ro and I were just discussing that there's just so much opportunity out there if you don't mind really being stuck behind a desk and from 9 to 5, if you want to go out there and sell media, there's a lot of opportunity there.
I see. So, again, we need to manage our wealth wisely, calculate every move you make towards spending your money. You have to respect the wealth that you have made for you and your family, and honor God and thank Him for the talent and the wisdom He gave us that brought us to where we are today. Again, I leave you with a magic 3. With luck comes preparedness. Make your money work harder for you and build wealth for your peace of mind. Lastly, thank you for Laurent and Tess for my hair and makeup. And from Frank Provo, and see you next week. Same time, same channel, as we continue learning about the different businesses and investment opportunities. Maraming salamat po and magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.